Battle of High Hall Tower, 550. 550. Get everybody in. Sentry first, activator speed effect. Or Shandy, excuse me. Then Elfman. Then Diana, the transition. Extras. Super fast entry. Brid for the jumps. Alright. Let me go on the equipment page and I will show another way to tell. This was in the wrong place. Dang it, I saved it out later. I forgot. Get away from me now, hand. Ad break coming up, folks. We do regularly scheduled 90-second ad breaks just so that I can stop explaining stuff when the ad starts and people don't miss anything. Alright, hour-long speed potion. Let's go real quick. On the equipment page, you can see, when you look at this, if you look at the jewel, like the gem in the design in the middle of the card, like there's a single gem. And then there's a gem with it's a circle, and now there's a triangle with 2 dots. That means uncommon. A square with 4 dots means rare. And then a hexagon with 6 dots means epic. And then there's even a fancier one. I can't remember exactly what it looks like for legendary. So there's 2 different ways that they do like a visual representation of the rarity of an item, or at least the the power that it's supposed to be giving off in terms of those. The confusing part is legendaries aren't a rarity. It's just a secondary effect, but they've kind of marked it into that system. An octagon, 8 dots, okay. Awesome. That's the other thing to keep in mind. Mental disc, is it better to get an entire team on team to applicable level 10 legendaries in all slots, or fewer level 20s with the same scales? Everybody level 5. Everybody level 5 legendaries. Level 5 legendaries across your trials team should rock you through Exalted Legend. If you need to go up to 10, sure. 10 was my original starting goal on my main account. And by the time I got to like 5s on everyone, I was at Exalted Legend and had it on farm. 10 is like 10 is a good target for tier 4. All the tier 4 variants for events, right? And for Elminster stuff. There isn't a real reason for 20 other than just bragging rights. If you're going to go to 10 on anyone, go to 10 first on your primary DPS. Because there's more of a chance that their legendary effects are going to actually boost them. Because you don't want to mess around with reforging other than like once a week. Give me some golds. Oh, I like them over here. Okay. Hey, we beat the pity timer. Azaka got another epic. Yeah. What's she sitting at now? 3. 3 out of 6. 3. I'll get back to answering questions from chat when we're back from the ad break. We got about, what, 20 seconds? Oh, yeah, we should be back. What was the other? There's another comment. Setting up legendaries for Elminster seems tricky, except for Gale and the Dark Urge. I mean, I wouldn't do the Dark Urge personally. I would do Gale though, but not really. I mean, you look at the most recent champions and you build a strong. If you're worried about like doing it over the course of a year or two, then you build a formation out of the most recent strong champions and use them because. And then there's lots of recent strong champions. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to take, if you feel like it's going to take you a long time to go through all of his stuff, otherwise, just don't legendary up anybody who's going to be out, within the first 6 to 12 months, right? But or just don't take him past 5. Like I said, I think 5 is pretty solid. Pretty easy to get to when you're getting to that point. So. But yeah, going into first India again, you invest in your trials team first, and then and the variations for the restrictions, right? And then into whatever you're. I guess if you're at the Elminster point, invest in whoever's going to be a good Elminster group for you. But I think if you're not, just trying to go super far past 5, then it's not as big of a deal. There are diminishing returns after 5. No, you double in power every time you level up a legendary effect. It doubles in power. So you're always getting the same increase. It's always costing an order of magnitude of favor. The scale cost... I can't remember if the scale cost goes up, but... I don't know. You get to a point where that's not even as big of a deal. If it does. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can tell I haven't bothered leveling up legendaries in a long time. What's the deal with Crowy the Familiar? Is there a story behind him, or is he just a bird with a name tag that says his name is Corey? Crowy was from OG Idol Champions live streams. The original non-CNE live stream on the CNE Games Twitch. Well, actually, it was on the D&D channel, but that was originally this game streamed live to the D&D, the official D&D channel. But it was Binwin Plays, and it was Binwin and Crowy. So Binwin the dwarf, and then his pal Crowy, who was a crow, this was Scott and Corey. And so they did a little show, but it was an animated version of Binwin that moved the little little thing where they talk and things move, and then there was a little animated crow. They did the whole show that way. So we got the Crowy familiar, and Crowy is the only familiar in the game with an Easter egg. No, I'm not going to tell you. Go ask Mars. Go ask Mars. Crowy is my nemesis for canonical reasons from the streams, just for fun. It's a bit, but their whole stream was just a whole gag bit thing every week. After a 4-year gap, of unlock 3 more evergreens, about to unlock Reyes, smashing your first trial, and speed teams blasting through levels. Nice. You do trials and get scales. Can you upgrade any item? Do you have to only pick on the character you send into the party? No, any epic on any champion. You want it to be the champions you're actually using to push with in your trials runs, not your assault party champion. It does nothing for them. Only regular item levels help them. You want the legendary effects on the team you're actually pushing with in the trials runs. You don't think Dark Urge is a good DPS? No, not really. His strength is that he's available everywhere. He's my Karlach on this account, on my new account, and on my main account. My Karlach out DPSs him. Now, to be fair, on my main account, it's a little unfair because she's got level 10 legendaries. But I'm vindicated because on this account, my Dark Urge had an epic and 5 blues, while my Karlach was in like 5 blues and a green on her Rage, which is her important ability, and she was out DPSing him consistently in D pushes. So, you know, and that's with no Zerial variants done, but a good number of stacks on the Dark Urge. So I just think Karlach scales better and is available for Elminster because she's new. So why not? On trials, day 1 says you earn. So is this the normal trial? I'd have to look at the chart. You earn 112 DPS. Day 2 says 124. Does that add to the DPS or replace it? It adds. It adds to your base contribution. It is not a replacement, Loopy. It adds to your base contribution. So your base contribution is a flat value based off your hits, like your bud value hits, additively throughout an adventure. So if you sit at like your wall and attack for the same value over and again, it additively goes up, but obviously there's diminishing returns there. And then the reward that you gets added to that, to your base contribution for day 1. And then that gets multiplied by any assault party bonuses and things. And then day 2, you add that value again to the base contribution, and then it gets multiplied by assault party bonuses. It should all be in there in my guide. If you hit my guide up, I really got to review that guide again. It's a big stretch and heal hydrate. And I got like a slice of pizza from Quick Trip, and they're like, "Oh, you get," and then they hand me this water bottle with it, and I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "It came free," and I'm like, "Okay." I don't usually buy bottled water. Is there a hint of which champions we get in the upcoming event? Yes. I mean, there isn't a hint. It's literally in the game. Dragon Down is next, and you're going to be able to get Binwin, Korth, Nova, Celise, Merylwyn, and BBEG. And then the 2 champions that are moving into that event are Shaka and the Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master. Yeah, I forgot they do different. He did the little funny statements. So Shaka and the Dungeon Master, along with what's listed under achievements in Dragon Down. It is not public knowledge yet, and we don't do spoilers around here on who the new champion, reworked champion, or 2 new, or 2 reworked, however they're going to do it for the next event. And no public reveals about that. That'll come out the Thursday and Friday before the event starts. Which, just so you know, the event starts on June 5th, excuse me. June 5th. So May 30th and 31st we'll get blogs about announcing those champions. It's been a good argument. Karlach. I mean, I like Karlach, so yeah. What do you advise to do with her to boost her DPS in terms of spec and team? So her DPS spec is Berserker, Now that means she's not necessarily going to survive great if tanking with her, so I move her back. I just place her in my formation. I use other tanks. The team with her, she doesn't scale based off tadpoles. Like, not her damage doesn't scale based off tadpoles. So you're free to use whoever the best possible supports and tanks are for just in general, which is great. I love that. I love that kind of freedom. So yeah, just throw in your other 9 best champions with Karlach. I do end up with some, like I end up probably usually using Astarion and sometimes Lae'zel, sometimes Gale, usually Orkira, because her tadpole thing just affects her health share, which makes the tanks, like your team, beefier. Doesn't do anything for her. They kind of missed the target there on that one. I feel like if they had made it so that it boosted her health, then that would have also made the party better and would have made her a better tank, and I think that would have been an overall better package for Karlach. But so yeah, just build whatever you can build whatever you want, but she should be in Berserker spec, and hitting your ultimate is the key. Like that ultimate is just destructive in so many ways. Yeah, I mean, the strength of the Dark Urge is just the fact that he can go everywhere. It's not that he's an amazing damage dealer. He's a solid damage dealer. I'm not saying he's bad. He's solid. But it's just the fact that if you need him, you can use him anywhere. And it's kind of, this isn't a normal thing on pure DPS champions. He actually has some all champs damage upgrades and an item. And an all champs damage item. Oh, wait. No. Just the all champs damage upgrades. Yeah, item is somebody else. It's rare on a DPS that they have all champs damage upgrades. So you can put him in. He will help your party a bit, but not much. You kind of want, if you're using him, you want him to be the DPS, but it's in the situations where you just don't have anybody else. I use Catti-Brie in my Absolute Adversaries formation. I love Catti-Brie everywhere. I do. I don't understand the hate on Catti-Brie. She is a fantastic support and a great DPS. Bloombob, please remind me, was a specific huge frozen pizza you recommended? Wild Mike's. You get Wild Mike's. I had leftover Wild Mike's this morning before the stream started. They make a huge one. Like they have an enormous pizza. They also do like a fun size, which is the ones I wish I could find, but I'd have to go to a different grocery store, like in a different suburb of my city to get it, and I don't. It's too much work. That's too much work. Her tadpole not influence your DPS made me underestimate her as a DPS. Oh, the thing about, and that's the surprising thing about Karlach, I think, is a lot of times you'll be using Karlach, and if one-time silence, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, and if you don't hit her ultimate, other champions in your party could out DPS her. Her damage comes from that ultimate, the Flaming Onion of Doom. And there's a lot there because it's multiplicatively stacking. Her rage and all of her stuff is stacking multiplicatively based off the rage stacks, and it changes the cap from 50 to 100, which is huge for boosting multiplicatively stacking bonuses. I forgot to fire breath. It's like, why did we slow down? Yeah, and once you start doing Zerial stuff, she starts scaling up a lot. A lot. Any advice for choosing legendary bonuses? You don't get to choose your bonus. You only get to choose your champion. The bonus effect is random. Like the effect you get is random. So was you asking me something else? Can imagine the time it takes to cap the Dark Urge. You know, if you've got enough, eventually you have enough speed potions and you get in the right place, you get the right level and like a Chumbawamba variant, and you just leave it for a week or two. Like that's kind of that's how people stack that up. Like downside to caddies, you don't get that first big spec bonus from Will. I don't use Will, so I mean I've heard where there's a Will, there's a way, but I tried Will once with like a Jahira setup. It was neat, but like he's so picky. I really don't like building formations that are like I have to do all of these tiny little things to get this champion to a point where they're useful. I like just throw a bunch of really solid people in and let them wreck phase. But I get it. I mean, sometimes I'll do it if I have to, but yeah. I mean, you can reroll the effect. Yeah, but you can't though. I mean, you can. Yes, literally, technically you can, but every time you reforge, the cost of reforging doubles. So you don't want to think about. So you really just don't want to think about it, because and then the price goes down slowly over time. So that when I said earlier you only reforge once a week, that's because it takes a week for the price to come back down to the 1,000, and you shouldn't be paying more than 1,000 to reforge, unless you're like at some point you'll get full level 20s everywhere and all you care about is reforging, right? So the most often you want to reforge is once a week. As to how you're reforging, it's really up to you. Are you building an Artemis formation? Then you want to make sure that all of the effects target Artemis. I don't. So I don't do that. For me, when I'm reforging effects, I haven't done this in a while. When I reforge, I'm looking for the most generic buff possible. I actually want whatever is the highest generic buff, so that whenever I put that champion in a party, all of their legendary effects are firing for whoever is my DPS. Because to me, that's power. If I take somebody and I put them in a formation because they're available, but all their legendary effects are focused at someone that isn't my current primary DPS, then it doesn't matter if they have level 20 legendaries, right? But you have to decide how you want to do that. Yeah. But don't do it more than once a week. Any advice for the Descent variant to unlock Rhea? I'm 11 areas from unlocking it. I was like, let me go to check my guide. I don't need to because I remember Rhea. Rhea is the inverse of Dragon Bait. So Dragon Bait teaches you that you actually need a couple tanks. It's not all about damage. You need survivability if you want to unlock Dragon Bait. Rhea's like, burn it. She doesn't care if you have tanks, and in fact, you shouldn't use tanks, because any champion that has an ability that ramps up based off being attacked or the number of enemies on the screen You don't want them. You want to instantly nuke every enemy that comes on the screen. So your DPS and 9 supports, unless a tank has a straight up better buff than some of your supports. Like I used Dragon Bait once, and it was just because his main buff was better than the other options I had available. But you don't want the enemies actually getting to your tanks on Rhea's adventure. If you did, you don't have the power to do it. Like if that because the second it spawns these special enemies, and the second those enemies hit your tank line, it turns off all their effects, and you're down those champions. So you have to nuke them before they get to your tank line. So fire breath potion. If you're setting a high enough bud, fire breath potions are your friend, right? But you still have to be able to hit. You have to be able to punch hard without any kind of ramp up effects from tanks, like getting hit, because they're not going to give that at all. Dragonbait is weird because his abilities suggest he smells delicious. That's how Dragonbait communicates. That's how, I guess, Sorials, they communicate via scents. So the different scents mean different things. If you were not aware, this is a thing. Hold on. Let me get... That's not, I want this over here. I think this should tell me all the smells. No. Why is it? Why that one doesn't tell me the smells? I thought that one for sure would tell me the smell. Well, maybe I missed it. Because there's a lot more than just in the game. Oh, yeah, it doesn't define the smells. Interesting. All right. So I'll just do it from his champion spotlight. The scents we know of include brimstone. If he smells like brimstone, he's confused. If he smells like roses, he's sad. If he smells like lemon, that's pleasure or joy. If he smells like baked bread, he's angry. If he smells of violets, that's danger or fear. If he smells of honeysuckle, that's tenderness or concern. If he smells of wood smoke, that's devotion or piety. If he smells like tar, that's victory or celebration. And if he smells like ham, that's nervousness or worry. So his scents are, that's his communication. And learning to understand those things is how you learn to communicate, like with Dragonbait. Obviously, he can understand you talking to him, but he doesn't talk back. He just emits scents, is my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. So that's like the joke. How you feeling today, Dragonbait? Smells like ham. Like, well, there's a lemon is pleasure and joy. So if he's lemony fresh, woo, Dragonbait, what were you up to last night? Hawk, there's an easy way to figure out which of my buffers, debuffers work well with my DPS other than pushing up to the soft cap and swapping. No, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. The best way is getting to... Best way currently in the game is going to your wall, like, and hopefully soft capping all your champions, and then leveling them all up to soft cap, like all of them, and then just testing out formations, saving the ones that are good, and adjusting all the rest until you can build maybe a few. See if you find multiple formations that are good, and keep that in mind for what you're doing if you get restricted, Well, you find it weird when an intelligent creature smells delicious. I mean, you got to remember it's pheromones, right? It's communication via pheromones, just in a different way, and lots of things communicate via pheromones. I would say we're not actually intelligent enough to communicate via pheromones. We give off pheromones, but we don't actually consciously recognize them. Whereas, other inferior species do. So who's inferior now? But yeah, it's just a different form of evolution. Communication doesn't have to involve speaking, right? And a dragon bait's an example of that. If he smells like devil egg, I don't know. That it wasn't in the list. I would say there's probably, for every smell, it's probably some variant of an emotion or a feeling or a communicative thing, but we've only been told a certain number of them. If you need dragon bait, you'll be at the lemonade stand. Yeah. Oh, you gotta go. 550 is where we're headed. Did we get gems? We did get gems. So, burning my gems as I get them right now. I'm just trying to get a horde of speed potions. I'm not a horde of speed potions. While also hunting full epic. There's a large speed potion. I'll take that. Hunting full epic on my core and evergreens. I got 3 champions that are tied. In first place, what do we got? Celeste, 5 out of 6. Niali, 5 out of 6. Some of them are way behind. Oh, Minsk, 5 out of 6. I think those are my 3. Yeah. Everybody else in the Corn Evergreen roster is still struggling. Still struggling. Who will be the first to full epic? For all I know, it'll be somebody that gets 3 in a row that was sitting at 3 out of 6. I don't feel like cologne and perfume have to be the culprit for breaking our sense of pheromones. I mean, people, I think that's just humans smell, give off odors, right? And humans have always been not big fans of those odors, so they've covered them up with other smells, right? So whether it's cologne or like back in the day, you bathed with cologne, right? That was just couldn't take a shower or a bath. You just covered yourself in a cologne or a perfume. A long time ago, and then soaps came out, and then they made those soaps scented, right? Because it was still stuck with you. This whole idea of you need to scent yourself. Right? I've never liked wearing cologne. I think I tried it when I was a teenager, and I was like, even in college, I tried it. I don't like it. So any scents I have are either my deodorant or the soap I used, right? I only expected to hit area 250 on day 7. Tier 1, yeah, Tier 1 of Mount Tiamat is anybody can do it. That's the whole point. If you've unlocked Trials of Mount Tiamat, you can do normal, which is Tier 1. That's kind of the point. You can solo it. So, yeah. You can do usually the first 2 or 3 tiers easily. With groups, even not the best groups. Usually. I don't know if necessarily it was designed to be soloable, but it was designed to be easy at the bottom for sure. As your introduction to it, to at least give you a way to generate scales, even if you don't want to try pushing up. Yeah, I read it as calzone first, and I was like, yeah, dang right, yeah. I want to smell like calzones. That's what I want to smell like. When I'm happy, that's the scent I want to give off. Calzone. Or pizza. Basically just pizza. I just want to smell like pizza. Pleasure and joy is smells like root beer. Happiness is smells like pizza. Sadness is smells like broccoli. Oh. Well, upset stomachs are upset stomachs. You can't really. That smells like gas. That's smells like gassy. I didn't say they don't respond to pheromones. I said they have no conscious awareness of communicating via pheromones. Not everybody likes salted caramel. I like salted caramel, but I will say not everybody likes salted. Oh, we ran out of fireworks. Not everybody likes the salted caramel. I know people who are vehemently opposed to salted caramels, and I'm like, really? Like, it's just, it shocks me. They're so good. Do I use any bear oil? I think you meant beard oil. That's same question, though. No. No. I can't handle my, like, right under my nose smelling like something all day long, other than clean. Right, clean being no scent. Like, I want no scent pervading my nostrils while I'm going about my day. I've never been able to do the beard oils because of that. All right, 25 levels away. And we will be in the final adventure in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. We raced through this place, folks. Love it. Love it. Which Lydia chimes in. Oh, are we chatting about wrong opinions now? Yes. We were talking about how you think Briv is garbage, and that's wrong. That's not what I said. Well, there we go. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Nice to know we're going to soft cap easily on our way to the finale of Elturel's Last Stand. Rack their face. Come on. I mean, I think we're doing pretty good with the fact that we're basically pushing past 500 easily with a speed team. Even this early on in kind of account progression. That's great. I think that's great. Because that's all this is a speed team. No, it's kind of speed / gold mine. It's a hybrid. I don't have enough speed champions to make it a full speed team. Bell. Get out of here. Get out of here, Bell. Stay away. I hate Bell. I hate Bell so much. He turns you into gems, folks. Have you noticed? Do you see this? He turns Sentry into a gem. I mean, Sentry is a gem, but not that kind of gem. The longer you wait, the more it wears off. It wore off. I didn't know it wear off. Usually, the longer you wait, the more people he turns into gems. So we're doing real good that we didn't get more of our party turned into gems. I hate the Bell variants. Okay, we are on the final adventure. And Baldur's Gate descend into Avernus, and we wrap back up around here. Down here, it started with Elturel has fallen, and now it's Elturel's last stand. Face off against Archduke Zariel of Avernus and deal with the consequences of your actions. The bad boss because he forms a hegemony. That happened. Right. Rather resave at the other. Oh, nice, Better. I'm glad that worked for you. You know, it's your results may vary with that combination, but I have an idea. Time gates will only cycle through tier 1. It's just tier 1 in time gates, because time gates are the current version of time gates are a function of events 1.0. They've not been updated to factor in events 2.0. Hey, potion. You know what? I know what's coming. Potion. Which is, we're not even gonna bother leveling up click damage. I know what's coming. I know what this is. I know what we're fighting against. I'm saving my gold. Thought it was a blood splat. No, it's a little gem. He just turns you into a little gem. Locks you away in it. Slightly deranged on the map. How do you get rid of the left side boxes? You click on the far right side quest. What? What? Left side boxes to click on the far right. That isn't a thing. Like if you're zoomed out like this and you can't click on something over here, zoom in and scroll the map over. I'm not sure what. Oh, right side box. Yeah, right side box. No, you just zoom in. You just zoom in and then you click wherever you need to click. Remember, you can zoom in and out on the map. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have done it then. You can zoom? Did everybody not know this? Do I need to add to this to Idle Champions 101? Yeah, you can zoom in and out on the map. Hold up. Oh, God. I think I just broke some people. Yeah. They're not going to create a map with stuff you can't click on, folks. Come on. Come on. For the item levels of the champion equipment, on most of these champions, it's low. Most of my champions is fairly low. Diana is high, 38, because I've been dumping item levels into her, but like my primary DPS on this account is Karlach, and she's level 5. Item level average. Now the exceptions to the rule are Human, who's at now currently 120, and Briv, who's at 183. Because speed. Dritz has 58? What? Oh, core and evergreens they've got some solid item levels. They're in the 50s. Good. Good for them. They're still not my best choices. Hey, look, folks, this is what we're facing in Elturel's Last Stand. The Area 50 boss is the Queen of Dragons herself. Spoilers. Notice she has all 5 of her heads here, but only 2 are out at a time. When you take them out, there's a little green bar that's filling in here, and what that means is that they're regenerating. So this is a DPS race. If you don't take out all 5 heads, but they will come back alive, and you'll keep fighting. This is the first true DPS race in Isle Champions. We're going to race through these lower area versions of her just fine. We'll see what happens when we get higher. My god, it works. Of course it does. I didn't just like pull the deep magics out for my version of the game. Yeah, no, and it's when you're when you're dealing with some of the well, this I don't have the stretched out version here yet, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think any of these early ones there's a big problem with. But like in Avernus, it's definitely, they've got it covered mostly. Nothing's really covered here. Some of the others might get problematic. Oh, Icewind Dale is problematic? Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to let that word through. But, yeah. Yeah. Zoom in. Zoom in and drag it around. Zoom in and drag the map around. I think that we ran into problems in like I think the biggest thing where you run into problems is here. They've now allowed us to zoom out more, but it used to be that you could only zoom out to the edge of this barrier in the Modrons. So if you had the filter out, you couldn't get to this side, and then they let us zoom further out. It's a little broken back here. They gotta fix that, but that's the art behind their peeking out. But now we can actually have the filter up and be able to do stuff off to the side. Couldn't do that before. But on the main map, there, zoom in and out works pretty well for everything. I think where you may get an issue at some point is depending on how well they flesh out Sword Coast, because it has Barovia and the Underdark. Like if you get too many extra places to go, at some point it may cover stuff up, but I guess I didn't realize people didn't know you can zoom in and out on the maps. I'll have to remember that. I'll have to remember that. Here's Tiamat again. Why did it start with all 5 X'd out? That's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. I'm gonna have to restart to clear the X's off. That's gonna be horrible when we're at the high level if we can't track what's dead forever or not. Rhinos, when you apply a potion to make something shiny, do you get to pick which item slot it goes to? Yes. Nowadays you do, yes. So back in the day, back in my day, it would just randomly go to an open slot. But now you get to pick. I can't demonstrate. I don't have one. But yes. Same with a golden potion, like a potion of golden or whatever they're called. Potion of polish and the golden potions. You can do that with both. But not every item in the game has a golden version, so some of them will be grayed out. Another favorite hidden feature is control clicking on potions to auto-populate 1 hour of the size you're clicking on. Yeah, that's a more recent thing, just in the last couple of years, I think. I don't use it personally, but I get it. I get why you'd want it. It's just Tiamat getting cross. Ugh. But, yeah. I think that would have hurt more if you're like, well, that's because Tiamat's your ex. That would have been because they're all X'd out. Next question. What are the best supports for a card like DPS? Whatever your best supports are. She's just like, I'm just gonna hit things and you do whatever you're gonna do. So literally it's whatever your best meta, either the meta supports, the best meta supports in the game, and the best tanks, or just the best supports you've got. Because she doesn't care about tadpoles. She doesn't care about her party being absolute adversaries. Did we? No, okay. I was like, what happened? Oh, we lost Shandy's. I'm like, we slowed down. Did we lose our speed potion? Basically, once you select Human, it'll be a thing that'll populate all the cards, and then you can select the card you want. Just hydrated, but fine. Do we have to go to 600? 575, okay. So we're gonna beat her on 550 is the last time we have to beat her, and then we can cruise through 575 pretty easily, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I gotta clear this off. This is not. Just restarting. Hit it too soon again. Restarting. Come on. Come back. Why'd you go up there? Where are you? Apparently we beat her. Apparently we beat her, folks. Hey, Avernus. Oh, you're also in the middle of this? Nice. Nice. Now I need to get in the middle of putting on my shoes. Hold on. Don't know why, but suddenly my feet were real cold. The fear of Tiamat. It's not. It's not. Who was it? Somebody in chat told me about Graveyard Keeper. The game Graveyard Keeper. And I threw it on my wish list. And then today I got a message that it's on sale. Folks, if you were interested in Graveyard Keeper, it's $4 right now. It's $4.
So yeah, I'm picking up Graveyard Keeper for future streams because it's $4 and it looked funny. So just in case anybody else out there had thought that was an interesting game. Graveyard Keeper is an amazing game. Good, yeah. Well, at some point we're gonna play it on stream. I've got a backlog of games to play on stream because we've been working on this playthrough, but we'll get there. Yeah, $4 though. I mean, come on. I think I only put it on my wish list like 2 weeks ago, and suddenly it's $4, and I'm like, all right. I also got a gift the other day. Mars gifted me Animal Well, so we'll have to play that on stream at some point too. I have to play that on stream at some point too. Graveyard Keeper has DLC too. Okay, I'll check that. Heard some good things from Rami about Animal Well. I've obviously Mars was like, "Have you heard about Animal Well?" And I said, I think I've heard people talking about it. And the next thing I know, he's gifted it to me. I'm like, oh, apparently it's good. Do I have a public Steam wish list? I do. I think it's down below the stream. I think. Isn't it still down there? There's also a Throne wish list. Oh, geez. No, I said go to my channel, not random Twitch. Is it still down there? Yeah, it's down there. It says Steam wish list. It's also a Throne wish list that has both just a straight up item, like I think it's the computer maintenance toolkit, and then there's a crowdfunding for a Steam Deck, which is pretty cool. Through Throne. Basically a third-party wish list that handles all that stuff, so I don't have to do anything. And when someone buys something, then they handle all the shipping to me, and you don't have to worry about somebody getting your address. Kind of like a semi like a PO box. You can't send me stuff through it, but still got to look into getting a PO box. People have said you should get a PO box. See, because everything else is on sale for Graveyard Keeper. Interesting. Huh. Their plays on other pop culture things. The first one is Stranger Sins instead of Stranger Things, and the other was Game of Crone. That's funny. Better Save Soul. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I mean, $2 DLC is pretty good too. $2 DLC is pretty good. Guess I should have just bought the version that comes with everything, huh? That would have been the better decision. I was not paying attention. Fixed. Fixed. You still have the... Oh, I just bought it. I just bought it. So, look, for $2. I'm like, oh, $2 DLC, sure. Like I just paid basically on sale. I just paid $10 for the game and all three of it's the DLC I care about. I don't need the soundtrack or the art book. But it's still we're gonna have to reset when we get to the last boss, I guess. MMO has been a ton of fun. Heather Mandic, cool. Yeah, I mean, it looked interesting. It's very sprite-y. We'll see how I handle that after having grown up with that type of game and then having grown out of that type of game. We'll see. Getting recommendations for additions to my throne list? Oh, did I? I think there. If I did, there was a problem. I think I got a message that somebody had recommended something, but then when I clicked on it, there was nothing there. So I don't know if that worked. And Ibex, whoever Ibex is, I don't know. I don't recognize his name. But somebody could be using a different name. I don't know. Ordered me the tunic desk mat with the shopkeeper. I can't wait for that to get here. I think it just shipped. Oh, no worries, Tortyfoo. Yeah, spread the love around. I don't have time to play that one yet, but it's definitely on the list, so I will play it eventually. Like I said, doing this playthrough where I'm really just focusing on this new player run and pushing it further than I normally do new player runs is taking up a lot of my streaming time. So once I don't know exactly how far I'm going to go with this, but once I get there, then I'll go back to streaming Out of Champions twice a week and streaming other games the other 3 days. But Tunic for the PS5? No. My girlfriend's playing through it now. Good. Try not, if you're going to play it as well, try not to pay attention. Because it's one of those games where spoilers abound, but... The sure, good DPS choice. I'm probably going to be switching to her on this run as my DPS to take down Tiamat. So, yeah. I would prefer Karlach. My Karlach outdoes my Ashara, but Ashara is a situational DPS. She can be good in general, but she's great for killing armored enemies because she can have, at soft cap, she'll have 5 magic missiles. So she can remove 5 chunks of armor at once. And with Human in the middle, that doubles to 10. As long as she's hitting for enough damage, we'll be removing 10 segments every time we attack. Whereas Karlach, 1 segment. 1 segment. Human in the middle, 2 segments. Not great. Oh yeah, there's my guide to Ashara. The most recent one. A video guide. Ashara's best if you can trigger her, at least her primary potpourri bond as a DPS. If you can't, then it's less effective, but she's still, as long as you're still doing damage, it's fine. But she is fully operational with a double quad, like both bonds at 4, like activated at 4. I guess I don't need to see them because the health bar itself has numbers and each run through of the armor is one of the heads. I'll keep that in mind. Are you building your speed formation? Yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it. You gotta swap that out at some point. Hey, look, as long as you're killing things, it doesn't matter who's setting Bud, right? But at some point, it's time to make a change. We're almost halfway through this, but we're over halfway through this run. This is good. We're making good time in comparison to our speed potion. I think Sam Riegel made certain game choices recently, so we go and extend family vacation. No. There's no way to. Well, I mean, no. I don't want to get spoilers. I don't want to get into spoilers, but no. Most of my core Evergreen have 4 to 5 upgrades, but somehow Shara is still stuck on all but. Wow, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I had somebody that only had like 1 epic recently, but now I think they've caught up to 3. Jarlax is only at 2. And Minsk is only at 2. I think he had 1. I think Tyrell only had 1 recently, and then he got 2 more. Oh, Coria's got none, though, as far as Evergreens go. And Dragonbait has none, so... Still got a couple Evergreens that don't have any purpley goodness, but they're the most recent ones. Kind of makes sense, but is slightly unfortunate. Slightly unfortunate. I wonder if I should... do this. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to pay attention to this number up here and ignore the heads. It's also, that's refilling way too fast. This totally bugged out. Because if it was refilling like that, we'd be gaining they'd be gaining heads back. I don't know what, man. It's real bugged right now, folks. I don't know what the problem is. I decided to move my Gromma back because I want her next to Whittle along with Orkira because they're both on-hit debuffers. We can keep that slow and that debuff on everyone from Gromma. I like to get more epics on Barrowin, but don't want to wait until their event. Time game spam worth it? If your core and your evergreens are full epic, I would recommend patron chests. Time gates, because you only get 3 gold chests, it takes 4 time gates technically to hit a pity timer, right? Because the pity timer's at 10. So I don't know. It's a lot of time gate pieces just to try to run down in the current system. It's a lot to try to run down epics. But it depends. Maybe I just don't worry about it. Like the only ones I ever really would even begin to chase would be speed epics early on. But I don't even want to do those. Open 500 golds once you get Ray unlocked? Wow. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Finally cleared all tier 3 this event. Nice, Woodchucker. You even cleared a couple of the T4. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, that's that Trials power. Hopefully you're still leveling up your legendaries. Yeah. Scott Whittle, how does she help with on-hit debuffs? She's an attack speed booster and a base attack resetter. So hurry up now. There's a 25% chance to just immediately reset anyone adjacent to her, or anyone receiving her vampiric gaze, I should say. That's because that's different than adjacent. Vampiric gaze is adjacent, but then there's people that can, like Valentine, that can give it to others, right? So anyone that's receiving vampiric gaze, 25% chance to automatically get their base attack back. But then also, whoever is buffed by vampiric gaze has a base attack cooldown equal to the quickest person that is buffed by vampiric gaze. So whoever has the fastest attack that's getting vampiric gaze, everyone that's getting vampiric gaze shares that base attack speed. So like right now I'm getting a 4-second cooldown on Grama, whereas if she was over here she'd have a 3.6. What? Oh, Human, dang it. Never mind, I'll put her back up there. Hold on. So I guess we're slower because of Human. Somehow? Wait. No. What? Is it the buff hole? No, there's something else going on. Never mind. I might have to rearrange this a bit. No. Oh no. How do I want to do it? We'll do it after Tiamat. Keep forgetting there's also rules about the buff hole here. That's just damage though, right? Full number next for everybody. Or attack speed reduction for everybody. Huh. What is going on? Because we're only getting... Yeah, adjacent to the cobalt, half a second. Okay, so what I want to do is actually... I want to get Minsk up here, and then Whittle here. Now she's at 3.5. But really, I would want that for Rakira. This is a 4.1 anyway, so that's fine. This will work. This is the better layout. Good thing I actually checked that, because this is super helpful on a DPS race like Tiamat. Alright. That's going to be better. But yeah, so basically whoever, because especially if you can stack something like that reduction onto somebody and then put them adjacent to Whittle, then they share it with another person. Or Kira's more of the... Kira's also an on-hit debuffer, but she can stack up many times, so I'd rather have her going faster. We're going to change this whole thing, but this is basically just going to help us for the moment. This is going to become an Ashara DPS formation as we get higher. Right now it's a speed and gold find formation. But once we clear like if we can clear 500 with this, then I'll switch over to Ashara, which should be a much better clear. Pumpkin's route made $4,700, not bad. Feels a little low, but then again, they are selling a pumpkin familiar, and it's not Halloween. Yeah, I never build around the alignments, to be honest, in Avernus. Just remember to keep your DPS by the buff hole. I love the captions calls it a buffalo. Oh, it's a buff hole. Buff hole. I guess nowadays you could call it the bud hole, but you know. Oh, God, captions. Thank you. Oh, thank you for yes, it changed it. Good job, captions. I wish there was a checkbox in this caption program. It's like, don't put these words. Do never translate these words. We're up to a bunch of them now. 7 bars and 8 left. So Tiamat targets the whole party with each attack. For each point that related scores above 10, a champion has a 10% chance to save against the damage or effect. That's nice. Black Acid Breath is a dex save. Blue Lightning Breath is a dex save with a stun. Green Poison Breath, con save. Red Fire Breath, dex save. Heavy dex here. White Cold Breath, dex save with a slow. All heads have 50 armored health, which means 2 runs of health. 2 runs of 25. And while the head is off screen, it heals 2% of its health. Basically means 1 segment. It heals 1 segment. The head is defeated. It will heal back to 100% health if the other heads are not defeated within 3 minutes. This is why this is a DPS raise. We're doing just fine, honestly, with Minsk. I'm actually impressed because of Whittle, I think. Whittle and Human really caring. Yeah, and this is the final storyline adventure in Baldur's Gate. When we complete this, we will unlock both Trials of Mount Tiamat and access the first unlock requirement for Zariel. We only have 42 champions though, so we can't immediately unlock Zariel afterwards. Still a ways away from that. Hey, Noobles. What do I care about? There's a medium question speed. Coming up on soft cap. Do not touch them. Good job. Don't turn off Shandy. 23 minutes of speed left. Yeah, this was slower because Tiamat just slows us down a lot. So the Eneralong potion was definitely the good choice here. Monster health is catching up to our damage, though. So it's going to slow down a little bit once that equalizes. The potential, like I could pop a gold find potion and we could stay a bit ahead of it, but it's not. I don't think it's worth it. We're gonna soft cap in. Zapper Overload is... People consistently hate Zapper Overload. I don't hate it. I just recognize that it's a very manual play variant. And the tip I'm going to give you is save your formation to a hotkey, and then just you've got to be there watching. You can watch like something like another show or whatever, but just consistently hit the hotkey to reload the formation back in after people get zapped out of it. They're usually, I think they're zapped out of it for that area, and when it moves to the next area, you can reload them back in. And so just having a hotkey for that is key, if you will. Just gonna go ahead and burn some ultimates here. And we're chucking right through the health pretty good. What you don't want to see is this number go up instead of down, right? We've been going down pretty well. Pretty well. Could be better. It's a little slow. See, it's kind of hitching back and forth sometimes. The 3, don't go back up to 4. It's very slow. And if we were in trouble, like if we were taking a lot of damage, you know, and we weren't surviving this, then we would want to find a way to speed this up. And hopefully that's going to be a shard. We'll see. We'll see. I may put it in and maybe it's not great. Should be better. We should be able to build it much better. I mean, we can build way more damage than this, to be clear.